0-3. That is not a math problem that produces a negative number. That is actually my fantasy record. No one to blame but the fantasy gods or myself, or the fantasy gods if they exist. This week in the fantasy world, I play my fantasy nemesis, Heath. I don't care who sees my nuts, Newton. Out of every week in fantasy, I don't care who my opponent is, except when my opponent is the one with a tan ass. And no, I'm not talking about you, John. I haven't seen your ass, but I bet it's good. Heath probably has the worst profile picture out of everyone. I can't tell whether he's trying to tell me that he's confused about his sexual orientation or that he enjoys wearing makeup. Either or, that's not a good message. Our fantasy record against each other will speak for itself. I have won most, he has almost won others. I guess it's time for me to actually embrace as well that you guys finally know something about fantasy football, no one making dumb trades, actual competition every week, except for that Los Angeles boy who had one good week, and now his team looks grimmest of all. I actually tried to make a trade with him the other day, but I couldn't figure out anybody who I wanted on his team. And then there's that Justin Smith team nobody cares about. Matt, you've blown everyone's expectations away, and blown is an understatement. Also, have you heard about the Detroit Tigers? They're coming for your Texas Rangers, and the should-be MVP Verlander has no time for your Texas Cowgirls. So you better bring it. It'll be a good series. Go Tigers. This brings me on my last note. Tommy, I'm too cool for fantasy football. Johnson. Let's try and have a little bit more ridiculousness from you. After all, that is what the fantasy world is about. Ridiculous people trying to get together and have a ridiculous time. Yes, your camera is on, in case you didn't know. And watch what you say about how maintaining your fantasy football team doesn't determine your outcome in the fantasy world. You're starting to sound like a neuter booter, and we all know what happens to neuter booters. 1-3, here I come. Peace.